Well, the host of one of America's favorite game shows plans to step down soon. Christy Coleman joins us with more in Who Dat Making Headlines.
Wheel of Fortune's longtime host, Pat Sajak, says he is stepping down as a host when the 41st season of the show comes to an end. The new season kicks off in September, and the 76-year-old began hosting the popular game show in 1981, first in daytime and then at night in 1983. Sajak tweeted the news saying, quote, "It's been a wonderful ride." An executive with Sony Pictures Television said Sajak will work as a consultant on the show for 3 years after his hosting duties end. Actress Naomi Watts confirms that she and actor Billy Crudup are officially married. The confirmation was made in an Instagram post on Saturday. Watts shared a photo showing herself and Crudup on the steps of what appears to be a Manhattan courthouse. The caption read, "Hitched." Crudup and Watts reportedly began dating in 2017 when they played husband and wife on the Netflix drama series Gypsy. However, their public debut as a couple came much later when they posed together on the red carpet at the Screen Actors Guild Awards in February 2022. Watts has 2 sons from a previous marriage, and Crudup has a son from a previous relationship. Greta Gerwig's live-action Barbie film will open in theaters July 21st, but some fans will get the chance to experience all the pink magic live. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling announced on social media they're taking the show on the road for a worldwide tour. They're going to visit 8 cities on their globe-trotting adventure, including stops in Los Angeles, New York, Sydney, and Mexico City. This is going to be so much fun. I'm so mad they're not coming here, but that's a look at Who Dat Making Headlines. Back to you.
Christy, we're wearing the wrong color.
I
You're
know.
in green,
We need
I'm
to
in
be
yellow.
pink.
We need to be in Barbie pink.
And I cannot wait until the film comes out.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Christy.